No matter where we are, we must have water. Water is critical to our survival. From one generation to the next, we depend on water to do many things. Besides drinking, we rely on water to grow our food and vegetables and to raise livestock. We use water to transport people and materials. We use the power of water to generate electricity. We use water for cleaning, and we use water for ceremonies. Lakes and rivers are also important places for recreation and for some people, gathering food. Furthermore, all living things depend on water for survival. Although most of our planet is covered with water, only a small amount, about 3%, is fresh water. The rest of the world's water, or 97%, is salt water. This small amount of fresh water includes the drinkable portion, as well as all the water in the ground, in the lakes and rivers, and the water frozen as snow and ice. This world has a natural ability to recycle water for our use from generation to generation.
Grandpa is so happy to be with all of his grandchildren today. I will tell you all a story.
Grandpa, where does water come from?
Water? Water is the most important element. Water helps plants grow and gives life to humans. Animals also need water. Water is a cycle. It evaporates to the clouds and falls back on earth as rain. Then it evaporates again. When it rains, water soaks into the ground and fills up our lakes and rivers. The water in lakes and rivers evaporates back into the sky. The sky will again release water down to the ground. The clouds give out two forms of water. Water in the clouds comes down as rain during warm weather and as snow during cold weather. Snow melts and also becomes water. The water we drink here at home is from lakes and rivers. People also get drinking water from wells. Water is a circular process going back and forth. This water that Grandpa is drinking now could have been the same water that our ancestors drank a long time ago. It is important that we protect our water and prevent our lakes and rivers from becoming polluted.
Compared to long ago, the water quality was more pure than today, because the water cycle had less human interference. As our towns and cities grew, the land was covered up and became more industrialized. We created contaminants that polluted different parts of the water cycle.
60,000 tons of crude oil worth $30 million.
Just as an oil spill pollutes the ocean, smoke from cars and factories pollute the air and the rain that falls from the sky. In today's modern cities, much of the land is covered with concrete and blacktop. These hard surfaces do not allow rainwater to seep into the ground naturally. As rain falls on paved roads and rooftops, the water quickly flows into storm drains and directly into our lakes and rivers. This is not good because it washes off dirty materials from our streets and neighborhoods into lakes and rivers, where many of us get our drinking water.
This is the Mississippi River, one of Minnesota rivers and the largest in the United States. I want to show you the stuff we throw away at home. When it rains, these things go into the storm drains and end up here. This river is also the source of our drinking water. The stuff that flows into the storm drains does not go anywhere else but into this river. For example, these cigarette butts are abundant along here. They are not particularly from those who fish here, but instead, the majority are from people at home, on the streets, or driving. They just toss them out of their car windows. When they do that, they are just washed up here in the river. You can see how abundant they are. Also look at this bottle cap. There are a lot here. This happens because when you throw away a bottle cap on the street, it doesn't stay there, but is washed directly to the river when it rains. The Mississippi is very big, but as you can see, it also has a lot of trash along it. Some of these dirty materials include engine oil, cigarette butts, grass, leaves, pesticides, fertilizers, and road salts. When these substances are on the streets and sidewalks in our neighborhoods, they will be washed off into storm drains and into the river. This world only has 3% fresh water, but actually only 1% is drinkable. The other portions are ice. So if we contaminate the 1%, we will not have drinking water. It's not just hurting us, but also wildlife. They need this water as well, so they are affected when the water is not clean. When we hunt wildlife and fish, and then eat what we catch, we can also be affected if the water where the animals lived is contaminated. Wildlife depend on clean water. If we hurt them, we are only hurting ourselves.
Our decisions can make a big difference. We can help by keeping our hearts and minds open, listening and learning about conserving water and protecting the environment. Clean streets mean cleaner water. Keep things like oil, trash, leaves, and grass out of the streets. Never dump anything into the storm drains. Also, it's against the law.
We accept these contents.
Certain kinds of chemicals and materials that we use in our homes should be taken to special places in your city and county where they can be disposed of properly.
We accept everything here, so bring them here to avoid being harmful to your family.
If we are careful about the dirty and hazardous materials, less pollution will go down the storm drains and into our rivers and lakes. Most of the water from our streets goes directly into our rivers and lakes without being cleaned.
These are black-eyed Sudans.
These flowers bloom so beautifully during the green season. Plant more trees, gardens, and lawns. They will help keep rain where it falls by absorbing and reducing the amount of water washing off the streets and entering lakes and rivers so quickly.
When it rains, these flowers and plants absorb and clean the water before it reaches the Mississippi River. They help clean the water.
Build smaller patios and driveways, and choose materials that absorb water. Landscaping with lots of plants and fewer hard surfaces means more rain can soak into the ground instead of washing pollution into the streets and directly into our lakes and rivers. Also, the ground naturally filters and cleans water that soaks into it. We have to change our attitudes and behaviors to keep things that we use from contaminating our water supply. By protecting and taking care of our water today, future generations and wildlife will have plenty of clean water for living and drinking.